So hey guys, welcome to another live stream. We have live streams twice a week, Thursday evenings from 6 to 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, and Sunday afternoons from 2 to 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. So if you don't know what that time is in your time zone, check it out. You can always post a question on Quality Crafts. We'd be happy to help you out with that, and then set a timer so you don't miss another one. Um, Super happy to have you guys take time out of your busy schedule. I know that life is chronic and things pop up, but you chose to show up today, and I really appreciate that. Thanks for being here. I'm going to give 5 minutes approximately for everyone to join in the live stream that wants to join in, and then we promptly start at 5 after. So what I have right now for you in screen are the little cards that we're making today. Hi, Peter Pan. They have little drawers and they're easel cards, and this one I literally had to glue down because I did not give enough room for it to sit forward far enough and it wouldn't stay. So that one's glued down, but they don't all have to be glued down. This one with the shark one, of course, is not, so he can actually fold flat. These do not fold flat enough to mail. These are personalized three-dimensional gifts that you're going to want to put candy or gifts into the little drawers and then hand deliver these to people that you know. Super fun to make. I'm going to show you 2 different sizes today, and I'm literally going to do all the cutting and everything right along with you so you won't miss a thing. So Kathy is here today. Yay, Kathy Dunahee. She helps me out over on Quality Crafts. If you're not a part of that community, we welcome you. We want you to join in. It's a commitment-free, drama-free, creative zone just for you. And you can lurk if you want. We do encourage you to participate, however, so that you can inspire others and become inspired. It's a super fun place to be. Yay, Simon Naya made it. Supersonic is here. I don't recognize that name, so thank you for coming. Susan Hammond, Lisa Sharp, Angela Velasquez, Naomi, Deanna, she's here, Star's here. Thank you guys for joining in. So we've got approximately 4 minutes until I get the show going. So for those of you who want to join in, we're going to make 2 sizes of the cards, and I am going to put out both of the directions, the sizing. Let me just zoom you in here. For those who want to collect things ahead of time, this is what you're going to need. This is going to be hard with my big head in the way. So let me just move this one over. We're going to start with the smaller one, which is this one right here. This one is going to end up to be the 3x3. It's the little one. It looks just like this. And I did not pre-cut anything. I'm going to cut all these pieces along with you so that you can take your time and create this along with me. And then, should time permit, I'm going to walk you through doing this much larger version of it. You could actually fit large candy bars in this one, I think. And then with the rest of the time, depending on what we have left, I'll decorate one or both of the cards, hopefully. I don't know if we'll have that kind of time, but. So Michelle is here, Sherry and Petra. Yay, Petra's here. Janet Smith, Donna. All right. So I'm going to move some of this stuff out of the way. I'm going to use a paper pack today. Those of you who are following along, you'll need 1 6x3 piece of paper, 1 8.5x3 piece of paper, and 1 square that's 4 7/8 by 4 7/8 to get us started. I'll pan out just a little bit, yeah, so you can screenshot the whole thing. Whoops, wrong way. I'm hoping that you can see them both, but they're kind of small. So how's that? I'll get my fingers out of your way so you can do that. And just give you a moment to bring that in. The larger one I wrote in pen, so it's a little harder to see. You'll need a 5.5 by 7.5 piece, a 5 5/8 by 10 2/8, which is basically 2.5. And then the card top is 11.5 by 3 5/8. So that one is substantially larger than the 3x3. And we're down to about 2 minutes before we get started. So gather your supplies. Check out all of the measurements here if you want to get a head start. And if you don't, I literally did not cut anything ahead of time because I want to cut everything along with you as we create it together today. So anyone who doesn't realize, hasn't heard of or doesn't know about the Donation Nation Club that I have going on, it's a way for us to create an even tighter knit community of those who are my biggest supporters, my biggest fans, anyone who just feels like they want to give back to the community to help me offset the cost of all the supplies and the technology and everything that I put into creating great content for you guys. And you, if you donate anything from $5 and above, you become part of the club. You get honorable mention now and again, and then also there are hidden videos that only you guys will be privy to getting links to, as well as one, I don't want to say random, but I'm not going to pre-tell you what they are. Every month there'll be a different prize drawing. And this month, for the month of February, the prize drawing for Donation Nation will be this Stamp Perfect. I just feel like this is a much better way. It's an easier way for me to control how things are going rather than going through Patreon, which just seemed to be quite a lot of work and really confusing for people. So it's straight through PayPal. All you do is do friends and family gift, and you're in the club. So I look forward to all of the people who are joining for that. And as always, the content and my videos all on this channel will remain free forever. I'm never going to turn this into a subscription where everyone literally is forced to pay for my content. That is not my intent. My intent in doing videos is to always make art accessible and easy enough for the beginner and interesting and exciting enough for the people who are intermediate to advanced. Linda made it. Hi, Linda. Did I miss anybody? Sherry Bromler, Naomi, yep. Jessica's here, Serenity. There are a couple people that I don't recognize, so yay. If there's some new people, I'm happy to have you here. It's 5 after. Oh, 6 after. We got to get started. I'm going to move these out of the way. I hope you got your screenshot. And we are going to get started. We're going to do the 3x3 first. I'm going to pan out here some. And we will be doing this one first. It ends up to be, this one does, I glued this one down, but I'll show you why I did that and how to make it. It ends up to be literally a 3x3 slider or easel card with a little drawer in it. So let's get started. Today I'm going to use paper from this paper pad. It's called Crate Paper, and that's about all I really know about it. There's 48 papers in it. And this is not, it's kind of like maybe around a 90-pound cardstock, I'm going to guess. So if you want your drawer and your card to be super sturdy, use a heavier cardstock. If you don't really care or you're going to bulk it up by adding other stuff to it, then use a lighter cardstock. If you want to do a lot of decorating, make the whole base with me completely in white and then decorate it. If you want to create this card today, but you don't want to have to do a lot of decorating, then use pattern paper like I'm using today, and that will save you a lot of time. So I'm just going to flip through here and pick one that I think looks really kind of cool. This wooden one is really neat. I'm going to go with this. Pull out my cutter here, and we are going to first make the wrap for the card, the biggest piece, this long piece with the score. It's going to be 8.5 by 3. I'm going to swing my arm out here. So I already know that this is longer than 8.5, so I'm going to cut my 3 inches off of this first. I'm going to cut the whole thing straight down at 3 inches. And then I'm going to turn it sideways and I'm going to cut it at 8.5. So 8.5 by 3 inches, however you cut your paper, that's what you need for that first piece. Okay, 8.5 by 3. The next piece, we're going to do all the cutting first. I just think that'll go a lot easier. Is the drawer that goes inside of it will be 4 7/8 by 4 7/8. So I'm going to swing this in here. It's been a long time since I've actually used this cutter. 4 7/8, and then turn it in 4 7/8 again. This one should be a complete square. There we go. And then the last one, actually not the last one, there's literally 4 pieces. But then we need the card, which is going to be 6 by 3. So take this big piece that I have left over and cut it at 6. And then make it a width of 3, 6 by 3. The last thing you need for the front of the card as it stands up as an easel is a little 3 by 3 piece right here. So let me see if this one's wide enough. Is this one even 3 inches? Oh, just 3. So I'm going to cut it again 3 by 3. And that'll be the front of our card. And now we'll do the scoring. I'm going to give you guys a chance to catch up if you're creating with me. Here are all the 4 pieces that we have cut so far. We have an 8.5 by 3, a 4 7/8 by 4 7/8, the 6 by 3, and the 3 by 3. Thanks, Angela. She said, Jen, you look awesome. Love pink and hair. I had a pink jacket on as well, but it's got hot in here. Yeah, my cutter actually is a little bit on the dull side. I should be replacing that blade, but I think it will work and get me through this video, and then I'll do it. All right. I'm going to use my little score guy here. I tend not to use these score things that come with it because they're plastic and it wears down and you don't get a really great crease. I like to use, what do you even call this? Like an embossing stylus. I thought I had one in there, but I don't. I'm going to grab it from my larger one, which is where I usually hide it. So I have the Martha Stewart one, and inside here, yeah, it's not there. There it is. It's to my right. I hide it in that little hole most of the time, but my stylus looks like this. Does it even have a measurement? It doesn't. So you just have to judge like how big of a ball on the end you want. I use this one because sometimes I use the teeny tiny tip and sometimes I use the other one. There it is. Ooh, that one's little. And we're going to do all the scoring together. So grab your longest piece, 8.5 by 3. We're going to score this at 1, 4, 5, and 8. Oh, we've got someone in here from Greece. I so want to know how to say your name. So her name is spelled X-R-I-S-A, and I am so afraid to get it wrong because I really take that personal and getting all of your names correct. I'm just going to call her Rissa, if that's okay for now until I find out. Scoring, back to scoring, 1, 4, 5, and 8. So 1, 4, 5. Oh, and this one doesn't go out to 8, so I'm going to have to pull out the big boy. I was hoping to kind of save a little space here, but yeah, it's not going to work. Maybe for the smaller ones. We're just going to slide this down again. 1, 4, 5, and 8. All right. Then we're going to take the square piece that we have, 4 7/8 by 4 7/8, and we're going to score this all the way around at exactly 1 inch. So score it at 1 inch, and turn, score at 1 inch, and turn, score at 1 inch, and turn, and then you've got all 4 sides scored at 1 inch. You should have a piece that looks like that. Come on, camera. What happened? Too much white. It goes, freaking out. Too much white. There we go. Okie dokie. The last one for scoring is this little piece that is 6 by 3. So we're going to score it right in half at 3 inches because that's going to give us our card on the top. And then to make it an easel, we need this part right here to score in half. So this last square on the end here, we need to cut in half. And since it's 3 inches, we're going to cut it at 1, actually it'll be 1.5. So I'm just going to do it on this corner. Yeah, I think I just confused you there. We need to cut this square right here in half. So it's at 1.5. So basically if you put your straight out, you put it at 1.5 and then again at 3. So you have it folded in half at 3 and then the top piece folds in half again. And that's where your last piece, that little 3x3, is going to stand on that easel. Okay, so if you've never made an easel before, that's what it is. Okay, so we're going to pronounce it Krissa. Krissa. I'll have to remember that. Krissa. Let me know if I'm saying it wrong. All right, let's get this beast out of the way so that we can finish showing you this. So this was the 6x3, and we scored it at 3 and 1.5 so that it would stand, and then your little 3x3 is going to go right on there. We're going to glue that down. And if you want to use a bone folder at this point to make all your creases, we're going to create the box here first by creasing down all 4 sides and then making a few cuts. So get your scissors out. On each one of these 4 corners, we're going to cut in. And then I always cut just a little triangle out like that. And then the same on the other side, cut it in. You don't have to cut the little triangle out. You can just make the cut, no big deal. Turn it all the way around the 2 opposite sides. Do the same thing on that side and then the other side. And then we're going to create that box. So I'm using wet glue today. You can use whatever glue you want. Wet glue or the red line tape, or what is that other stuff called? This kind of tape right here. Double-sided tape. This is usually a little bit stronger than the ATG. At least I found that it has a lot more holding power when you're creating 3D things and boxes and stuff. So I just want to put that out there for some of you guys who may be beginners. And now we're going to fold in the tabs and put a little glue on that side. All right, and then fold up the side of the box so that they meet at the corner. And because I'm using wet glue, I just hold it for a second. Aunt Beck's here. Wendy's here. She says, I'm in QLD. Barbara's in Gold Coast QLD. I do not know what that means. I'm just going to admit it, folks. Oh, it's so hot in here. You will rarely hear me say that. I am always the person to be cold, but darn, it's hot in here. Maybe it's just because that's my embarrassed heatness coming out from not knowing how to say people's names and not knowing what QLD stands for. I can't be the only one, can I? All right, the last 2. Dun, dun, dun. Fold that side up. Queensland, thank you. Yes, you can use paper clips to hold it up. Tracy, thank you for that. You can use paper clips, but as you can see, it's pretty quick drying, and to drag out all my paper clips and to put them on there, to me, would just seem really tough. But if you're using a really heavy cardstock and you're using a lot of glue and it's not, then by all means, grab those paper clips or those clothesline clips and whatever you have. But as you can see, these are drying pretty quickly, so I'm not going to do that today. Now we're going to grab this one. This is the liner that's going to basically wrap around that drawer. So I'm going to give all of these a crease. And this is going to go all the way around and just create that wrap. So we're just going to put tape on this shorter side. So if you look at it, one side smaller, we're just going to put tape on this small side and then tuck it right underneath there so it looks like it all came together. See that? And I am going to use this double-sided tape because I want mine to stay together. Now you can get this double-sided tape really, really cheaply from China. I know there are some people that aren't comfortable with purchasing from China. So there is going to be a time at some point in time when I literally am going to resell this in my shop for those of you who are not comfortable with buying or having shipping come from there. So that will be coming up. Right now I just basically, I have ATG tape for $2 a roll. I have these little glue bottles. And my original glue bottle I got from, what was it called? Tilda's Bridge. They no longer sell them, and they were $7, and I sell mine for $6. And then I also do the foam, double-sided foam tape, which is really fun to use, and for making shaker cards and all kinds of other stuff. And that is $5 a roll, and I can't remember how many feet come on there, but it's a little bit more than the big box companies have, for a couple dollars cheaper than they even have it for. So there is my tape, and I am going to put that together so that that seam looks really, really close. There we go. And then your drawer should fit nicely in there. And then we're going to put like a pull tab on there on one of the sides eventually. Let's go ahead and finish doing this one too. Since I don't have double-sided paper here, I'm going to cut one more 3x3 that's going to go on here, or you can put any other color on here that you want. But my paper is not double-sided, so I have an issue right here. But if you're doing all white, it's not going to be a big deal for you because you're going to automatically go ahead and cut your paper down to size to cover up all that. And anyone who came in late, we're actually literally creating this easel card that has a drawer in the bottom. I don't sell the glue gun itself, but you can get those pretty easily on Amazon. Or I've seen a lot of people are saying that they're getting theirs from Michael's and using their 50 or 60% off coupons that they're getting mailed to them. So that's a really good way to get the gun. The big pink one, like what I use, this one. It is the Scotch Advanced Tape Glider, it's called right here. The drawer does fit really snugly. So this one I made with the exact same directions, and when I pull, it's very tight. It's really snug so that it doesn't come falling out when you have it placed somewhere or you're traveling with it. You know, you're taking it to somebody. I really like that. If you're really uncomfortable with that, you can always make your measurements just a tiny bit smaller, and then your drawer will be really roomy in there. But this one does too. It fits really tightly. I must have like it's getting caught on my lip on the inside, but no, it seems to go in out pretty well. So there's my other 3x3. And so one of the 3x3s, like I said, is going to go on here. I have wood grain, so I'm just going to try to figure out how I want that to go. If I want it to go up and down wood grain or side by side, depending on how I put these in here. I think up and down like that will work. So because this one's not a piece that's going to hold anything together, I'm just going to go ahead and use my ATG tape and cover up this bottom piece here because I don't want that to be white. And then we're going to, for this part right here, we're going to put glue just on this little bottom half here that we folded over. Because that's all the glue we're going to need to put this one on. So you're going to want to close that and then put this right over the top. And then you see that it didn't stick to the back, so that way it sits up nicely. Now here's where I made my mistake. I wanted mine to sit up tight up here. I didn't give it enough space to like fall down to the bottom. So you're going to want to crease that, and don't make the same mistake I did. You're going to want to let it fall kind of far forward. Or if you don't, you're going to have to kind of make something to make that hook on. See, now if I make it fall forward like that, then if I put something here, that's going to hold it. I messed up my other one and I had to glue it on. But this isn't the type of card that's going to 100% fold down into something flat to mail. So it's really not going to be crucial that you have this so that it folds down flat. So if you want to go ahead and glue it standing up, do what I did. Just hot glue that sucker down. It makes things 10 times easier. Oh, Deanna says it's a smidgen too small for sticky notes. Bummer. You could size it up. You can make everything, make all of your measurements like what, a ½ inch bigger or a ¼ inch bigger, depending how, what size that you want it to be. And then this is just going to get glued right on top of your box, just like that. So I'm going to flatten this out, and I'm going to put my ATG tape right on here. Make sure that I've got it going the right way. And glue it right to the top here. Then if you slide the drawer out, you can stick your fingers inside here and make sure that adheres really well. And then put the drawer back in. So this is one that's finished, and we can decorate this together. But the first thing I want to do is show you how to make the bigger sized one, because we've got time for that. So this is the next size that we're going to be making. It's quite a bit bigger. The size of the box is about 3.5. It's just slightly bigger than 3.5 by 5.5. And this is a more odd sized one. And this one came from the Getting Inspired YouTube channel. So if you look really closely on the bottom here, I've written in here exactly where I got the measurements from. So the big one that I put the shark on came from Getting Inspired, and the little one, what do you call it? The 3x3 one, this one, came from Papercraft Button on YouTube, and that's where I got the measurements for that one. Oh, fun idea, Kelly Lee. She said you could also use these on your desk with it and put a little small calendar on the front. That'd be fun. So let's create this really large one. We're going to need bigger sizes of this. So you're going to want probably a 12 by 12 sheet of some kind. I think I'm going to do this one all 100% completely in black, because that's what I have nearby me, and it'll just be easier for me to do it all one color. So let's go ahead and cut all of the pieces that we need first. So for the box, we need a 5.5 by 7.5. I'm just trying to find a spot. I got stuff everywhere when I do these. It's crazy. 5.5 by 7.5. So I'm going to go ahead and do my 7.5 first. No, I think I'm going to do my 5.5 first. So 5.5. Mine did not cut all the way down. Oh, you know why? Because I'm doing 12 by 12. So I'm just going to cut that by eyeballing it. Because I really only need the top half. I'm going to turn it sideways and do it at 7.5. Okay, 5.5 by 7.5. There's that. It should be a rectangle. And then the box sleeve is 5 5/8 by 10.5. I'm going to pull that one back in. I always forget that this black stuff has this label on the side. I'm going to cut that off right away. It's on this one too. So 10.5 by 5 5/8. So I'm going to cut the long side first to make sure I have enough. 10.5 by 5 5/8. Guys, give me a shout out in the chat if I'm moving way too fast, or if this is a good pace. If are you crafting along with me today, or are you just kind of, did you get all the directions in the beginning? So this piece is 10.5 by 5 5/8. And then we need the card top. Yeah. Make sure that we've got these 5.5 by 7.5. That's that one. 5 5/8 by 10.5. That's the box. That's the box sleeve. And then the card top, we need one that's 11.5 by 3 5/8. I'm gonna put this on my big one next to me. 11.5 by 3 5/8. So wow, okay. First thing I'm going to do is slice off this piece. You know, when they put these pieces on the end of a 12 by 12 sheet, don't forget to get rid of those. That mess you up. 11.5, so we're going to cut it down to that because it is a 12 by 12. So there goes a half, and then I'm going to turn it and do it at 3 5/8. So 11.5 down by 3 5/8 wide. And this one I didn't put down. I did not put down how big that card topper is, but we'll get to that in just a second. I think this is going to be, this leftover piece will be enough. So basically this is your topper, this part right here, the easel part. And I'm going to show you an easy way to do this now without having to measure it. So I've got the measurements there, but literally when you do an easel card, you take whatever this piece is and you fold it in half. Right? And then you take the top piece here and you fold that in half, right to that middle score mark that you just made. And that's it. No measuring required, and you know that you're going to get it right in half and it's going to stand up just like that. Okay. And then this will give us our measurement right here for the card piece that needs to go on the top. And that one's not big enough, so I'm going to get rid of that one and pull out another one. My other piece that I have here. And this piece is 3.5 by 5 5/8. No, it's 3.5 by 5 3/4. So 3, you guys are going to want exact, aren't you? Let me write this down. Where's my pen? Okay, so for the card top, it's going to be a rectangle, and it's literally going to be 3 5/8 by 5 3/4. Okay, 5 3/4 by 3 5/8. Let's see if I cut that right. It should match up. If I did, if I didn't, I'll go back to the drawing board. That works. It covers it equally. So the measurements again on that were 3 5/8 by 5 3/4. Oh, I better get all this stuff out of the way and make sure we have all of our right pieces. So 5 1/2 by 7 1/2. 5 5/8 by 10 1/2. And then we've got our card piece and our card top. Okay. This is going to be the box. This is going to be the wrap. This is going to be the easel. I hope this is clear. I haven't seen anybody mention anything. Dude, I hope this is really coming out. I feel like I'm jumping all over the place, but this has such odd measurements, and it's such a, but I like it because it's different. It's a bigger size. You can get 2 Snicker bars in there. I love Snicker bars. Or whatever, candy bars you like. I need to move those out of the way, because otherwise I'm going to end up doing this all wrong. And I think I'm just going to bring back in this big one because, yeah, I think that'll work the best. So this is the box. It's 5 1/2 by 7 1/2. And we're going to do the same thing we did on the other one. We're just going to score it at 1 inch all the way around. That's typical with these drawers, is that they're usually in 1 inch deep. So 1 inch, and then turn 1 inch, and turn. Hopefully, if you're watching this archived, you took down the directions. If you don't like listening to all the talk, I do like to talk a little bit in between, though, so that people who are crafting along are able to craft along, as long as I can keep things in a a straight order for you. And that way you can just take the dimensions that I gave you in the very, very beginning and just be off and running, right? Now we're going to take this long piece and we're going to score this one. This is the one that's going to wrap around the card. And this one is scored at 1 inch. 4 5/8, which is that tiny little tick past 4 1/2. 4 5/8. 5 5/8, which is the one little tiny tick past the 5 1/2. 5 5/8, and 9 1/4. And that's the black line with the dot just past the 9 1/4. So for you guys who are beginners, I should probably do a beginning how to score things, how to do measurements. But in between each inch, okay, there's 8 marks. Those are the eighths. So if you say 1/8, it's the first mark. 2/8 is the second mark. 2/8 is the same as 1/4. Sorry, Simonaya. She says she loves them too and she doesn't have any in the house and now she wants a Snicker bar. I have one in the bread box hiding. I might just eat that right after this. Oh, let's get this out of the way. You guys make me laugh. We're going to do the same thing now. So now we've got this long rectangular one, and we're going to make the box out of that. And then we've got this long rectangular one that's going to wrap around the box. We already have our easel that we folded in half there, and we have the top piece to the easel card, so we're going to put it together, starting with the card base. So get out your scissors, and my little black handled scissors. There they are. Sometimes I put them back, and I forget that I put them back where they belong. Oh, yeah. It's just so much easier if you do all of this creasing of your score lines before you do this, because then you won't forget. So just give them a quick score. Okay, and now we're back to what we were doing before. So you just want to cut right up to the score line there and cut a little triangle piece off of that tab. Now you don't have to cut that little triangle piece if you don't want to. We're just going to go straight over to the other side and do that here. Okay, and then we're just going to turn it right around, and we're going to do the same thing on the other side. On both sides. Where are we at? We're at 239. We're making good time. There you go. And that's the box. So let's put that together with some wet glue. Or, you know, whatever you guys are doing on your end. I like to use my wet glue. And you want to fold that tab in and put that glue on the back side. Gosh, could you guys hear my... Here, this is one of the reasons why you want to have one of your stainless steel pins hanging around. I didn't put my pin back in. I just let it sit there because I was lazy. That glue will dry on the very end. So when you stick your pin back in there, it'll start running back out again. Just like that. This is the little glue bottle that you can find in the store over at KTC. Quality Crafts, if you're not familiar. So if you're not already a part of Quality Crafts and you're new today, yay, we invite you. We can't wait for you to come over. It is a non-drama, non-commitment creative zone that you can come and hang out and see different videos and things that people are trying out and techniques, and it's just super fun to hang out there. So we hope you'll come over. Tuck that in, make that wall. I'm just going to hold that for a second. I have another admin over at Quality Crafts, and her name is Kathy Dunahee, and she's in chat today. She's been having a lot of health issues, so if you could pray for her, that would be appreciated. She also is the person that runs, if you have your name and address and you've put your name in Quality Crafts in the birthday file, she's the one that sends out all the birthday cards. At no cost to you guys, she pays for all that. So if you are sending a get well card or a cheer me up card for her, if you could include a couple extra stamps, that is always helpful. And I'm going to hold that there. We've almost got this bottom box made. So when you look for Quality Crafts, if you look at what Kathy typed in there, it's Koala, K-O-A-L-A, capital T, C-R-A-F-T-S. And we've got about 767 members right now. So that's how you'll be able to find them. So here what I'm going to do right now is just stick that pin right back in there. That will keep it from clogging up. And I keep my glue laying on its side like this, just because then I don't have to wait so long for the glue to come out the bottom. And our box is finished. So now we're going to do the wraparound. That's this great big long one. So go ahead and crease all of these. This one's all going to be all black. So we're going to have to make sure that we decorate this one really cool. And one side is usually a little bit shorter than the other, and I think it's this side, so that's the one I'm going to tuck underneath. So that is the one that I'm going to put the glue on. And I'm going to use my double-sided tape, actually. There's a lot more people that pop in and out and that are watching. They just either are on their phones and don't have the chat, or aren't in the chat, or I don't know how that exactly works, but there's always more people that have watched it when I'm done and it's processing than shows just in the chat bar. Then we're just going to peel this up, and then we're going to put this wrap together, and then we put our drawer in it. I hope this has been clear. I feel like I was bouncing around a lot during the little 3x3 one, and I apologize if that got confusing for you. So now I'm going to go ahead and put those two together here. You're really literally supposed to be able to put it down and fold it right in half here, and they should meet up, but they don't really always meet up. So I just always put these two together so that it looks nice on the seam. Just like that. It's always seemed to have worked out for me. You know what? I think I did my scoring wrong on this one. I did. I scored mine completely wrong. I hope I didn't tell you. I hope I didn't have you guys score it wrong. My drawer still fits in it, but it's wonky. Do you see that? One side's a lot longer than the other. I hope that was my complete mistake and not yours. Although it's still going to work out, so I'm not going to worry too much about it. I did do this one ahead of time. I used the exact same measurements to make this one, and as you can see, it turned out perfect on the end. So if you followed what I said and didn't copy what I did, you should be good as gold. Because I always try these out ahead of time, unless I tell you I didn't try it out ahead of time. So I really hope that yours turned out perfect. It should have. Oh, I have been watching too much of the chat today. We're going to put glue or tape on this bottom half of our card now, because that's where that last piece is going to go. So I put glue, and you could totally see it, on that half, and then I line it up so that everything at the bottom is lined up. I don't care if it's little kitty wampus at the top. You're not going to notice that because once you stand it up, this is all you see. But if you get it kitty wampus at the bottom, you're going to see that. So when I put it on, I make sure that everything on this side is lined up. Okay? Oh no, Christy's came out wrong too. Did I give you the wrong measurements? I hope not, because the other one turned out well. Should we try another one? Let's just slide this to the side. And I'm sure that the box is okay, but this didn't turn out right. Let's try this one again. The box holder is 5 5/8 by 10 1/2. I'm going to grab another piece of paper and cut that again. 5 5/8 by 10 1/2. You know what? I'm going to cut this one on my... That's 10 1/2. I'll double check it. That's 10 1/2, and this will be 5 5/8. There's our 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5/8. All right. One more try out at this. I gotta know if I'm telling you the wrong thing or if it was just totally my error, my user error. So if we do 1 inch, 4 5/8, right? 5 5/8, and 9 1/4. Oh, it's 10 1/4, not 10 1/2. My bad. 10 1/4. 2/8 is a quarter, not a half. What a ding dong I am. So cut the end off of it and make it 10 1/4. Oops. 10 1/4. Oh, that makes a big difference. Okay, so if you took this down, you probably didn't make the same mistake I did. But let me get my pen out here. These are all correct. But when I voiced it out loud, I said 10.5. 2 1/8, 2 8 I mean, 2 8 here, 10 and 2 8 actually equals 10 1/4, not 10.5. 10 1/4. So it's 5 5/8 by 10 1/4. And then if you follow these score lines right here, you're good as gold. So I'm going to pull this back out and I'm going to score it at 9 1/4 like it says. Because 9 1/4 to 10 1/4, which is the end, is an inch. And that way I won't have that kittywampus look. So now when I fold this one over, now when I fold these over, we're going to be good. So all of these should be 1 inch. You know, 1 inch, 1 inch, 1 inch. All right. Yeah, they should. They are equal. I should have known that when they weren't. But, you know, sometimes they don't turn out exactly equal. So I always take the shorter of the two anyway, regardless. I got glue all over me. And tuck the shorter one underneath. All right, let's put some tape on here and put this together, and then we can move on. We've got 10 minutes left, so I won't get a lot of the decorating done. But my biggest goal is to show you how to put these together, because I know you guys know how to do the decorating. And that's up to the artist in each one of you. Whatever decorations and things come out of you and your stash, that's what we want to see. That's what we're inspired by, so that we don't all make cookie cutter cards that are exactly the same as someone else's. Right? You want your personal touch on it. You want them to go, wow, that's really cool. And then you go, yeah, it's all me. Can't find another one like it in the world, so keep it forever. I said that to someone the other day. I'm like, yeah, as much work as they did on that card, that receiver better keep it forever. And she's like, that ain't gonna happen. All right. Let's put this together here. Line this up. There we go. Ta-da! Look at that. Yeah. And then, of course, this is going to go on top here. So I'm going to put tape all over the bottom of this and taper down. I will definitely show you how to do the pull for the drawer. It's so easy. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. You're going to love it. Just in case this didn't match up, I always put everything to the front where I deem the front of the card here, and that's how I line mine up. I don't care if it's kittywampus in the back, and it usually is by just a little bit. Do you see that? Because paper's not perfect. But the front is going to be where it lines up really well. And then this one's going to set a lot farther forward than the other one did, my opinion. And then we decorate this all up. But let me show you how to do the pull on this. And I'm going to do a white one so it shows up really well on here. So I'm going to grab just a piece of cardstock, a scrap that I have laying around. And you literally do not have to make them this big. And those of you who already know how to do this or are really good at looking at it and eyeballing it and tweaking it for your own project, I'm going to let you do that. But for those of you who really need a hard and fast rule and you really depend on directions on how to do something specifically, I'm going to show you an easy way to do it. But your handle's going to stick out quite a bit. So here's an easy way to do it. Your drawer is this long, this wide, right? So go ahead and cut your handle about that wide. This one is. Actually, it's not quite 3 1/2. So I'm going to make it 3 1/4. So for this big one, make it 3 1/4 inch long. Okay, 3 1/4. And then however wide you want that to be, I think it should be about 1/4 of an inch. You can make it wider, you know, whatever suits you, but I think 1/4 of an inch is plenty wide. So it's almost as wide as the drawer, and it's a quarter of an inch, excuse me, a quarter of an inch thick. And then where did I put that other one, little score guy? He's so tiny I have him completely hidden. Oh, I dropped him on the floor. Go ahead and score each side at a quarter of an inch. No, half an inch, sorry. Half an inch. Half an inch, and I'm just going to swing it around and do a half an inch. Okay, so it's a quarter of an inch. It's 3 1/4 wide, and then I did 2 little scores at a half an inch on each side. So those are gonna bend forward, and then this middle part right here, you're just gonna swing your, like, pinch it and pull so that it starts circling around. Do you see that? And then make sure those are out like that, and then you're just gonna put a little bit of glue on those edges. Just on those little half-inch edges here. And that's what's going to go on your drawer. I'm going to just pull my drawer out of here just so I can have this to see what I'm doing. And then put one side down and the other side down. And then you can slide them back and forth depending on how wide you want this handle to be. And the wet glue will give you time to wiggle it around. And then you just hold it until it dries, and that's it. And then you can put two little dots here, or 2 little bling, or 2 little any kind of embellishments that you have. Like I have these, they're gold. They look copper to me, but they're little gold stickers, but they look like brads because you can use brads, but then you remember you have brads on the inside of this, okay? It's probably closer to a half inch. I didn't actually measure it. Thanks for calling me out on that, Barbara. You're right. I didn't measure it at a quarter of an inch, but it is probably a half an inch. Yeah. I mean, the whole point is that you can make this handle look any way you want. You don't have to literally follow anybody else's directions. And make it any color you want or any size you want. And you could play around and make these little parts right here, you can make them rounded. They don't even have to be square. Get creative. Think outside the box. Brads will help keep the pole from tearing away. That is true. I have not had a problem with mine thus far, but if you're worried about that, brads will stop it. But this slides pretty well. I have no worries that will ever come off. I love it. It's awesome. So there we go. That's that. And then this was the big one that I'm going to put my pin back in here. This is the one that I actually put my shark on. So if you made your shark, you can put him on the front and decorate the rest of the box with all kinds of stuff. Okay, so that is the one that we put together. We are almost done with the live stream. We've got about 3 minutes left, so I hope that you will take, this is the challenge for the week. It runs from On Quality Crafts on Facebook from today, this Sunday, till next Sunday, which would be, let me click on my calendar here, the 12th, Sunday the 12th. So you have this whole week plus next weekend to work on this craft and to use your shark if you made the shark with me last time. You don't need to use that though. You can put any kind of image you want on there and come up with your own design. Okay, here's the one that I created for today. It also has a pull. This one came out a little bit stiffer because I used a thick cardstock for this one. So keep that in mind. This one is not as thick and the drawer is pretty slidey. Okay, this one was super thick cardstock, 110 pound. This one fits a lot tighter. I like them both. But you go to Quality Crafts and you look for it'll be titled in the files weekly challenge ending February 12th. I always label it weekly challenge, and I always put the date that it ends, and that's how you find it. And then in that file, there will always be a link for you to click on that will take you straight to the album, so you don't have to search for it. Everything on Quality Crafts is pretty much set up for your convenience so that things are easy to find. If you're ever at a loss, almost all of everything that you need to get started or need to find is linked in the pinned, it's in the pinned post at the top of the group page. So if that makes sense, you should be able to find links for that there. So let's end with the mistake that I made. Don't make it like this. That's Kitty Wampus. I'm really happy that you guys took time out of your busy schedule to join us today. I hope that all of you people who came over that are new will join us at Quality Crafts. It's a fun place to be. No drama, no commitment zone where you can be inspired and inspire others. It's a super fun place to hang out, so we would love to have you. Every Sunday we do the weekly challenge. And I put out this live stream so that beginners and experienced people alike can find inspiration and figure out how to do it so that you can enter. And then every Thursday night, and it's always at 2 to 3 p.m. Central Standard Time, my time. And then every Thursday we do another fun live stream, and you never know what that's going to be, a technique or a card or whatever, something that's really fun. Will be every Thursday night from 6 to 7 p.m. And we hope that you'll come back and join us for that. And I think that's about it. Don't forget to go over to Quality Crafts and look at it in the file under find out what the Donation Nation Club is all about so that you can find those extra hidden videos that I'll be doing and be entered in the drawing for this month, which is the Stamp Perfect that I'm giving away. Thank you guys so much for being here. I can't wait to see you guys next video.